doing today?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Everybody's Japa. Where are you living?
You know that the trend is people they will not really tell you. You can just see your guy that you guys the gist, they're alright. Tomorrow you don't wake up in Canada. So that's the process. So that's why I will tell you.
Bro, how far? I'm going tomorrow.
I've got
Everybody's giving the notice
a day to, or when they've landed, I just japa. So
I think first off, one thing I think we should look at before we delve into like the conversation fully is, are people actually japaing, or the issue of japa is just being amplified more on social media and we feel like the whole world is going, because guys, the street is still full. Do you understand? With the magnitude of people and the conversations we're hearing, as in we're supposed to see like population has gone down, people are seeing Italy borders, Nigerians are growing, but are people actually going, or you just feel, or is this the social media that's just amplifying it to make it look so?
We can see the realities happening in the country. It's not a case of, it's something that we can all see. It's clear to everybody. So everybody is looking for, I feel like an average Nigerian is looking for opportunities. Like an average young Nigerian is very enterprising. Do you understand? Let's say your blood is hot as a young Nigerian. I feel like it's full come for us. So at this point where a lot of people know that they have potentials, they know what they can do. Do you understand? We're in a global world now, so you are seeing what your counterparts in Europe are doing, your counterparts in America, you get. So I feel like it's building that sense of, bro, I need to go to where I can maximize myself. And some of these claims are very valid. Some people are going to chase school, some people are going to chase a better life. Some people are going for better jobs, career advancements, all of that. So those are the issues. And I think, fair enough, I think a lot of people are going, if you look at the statistics of how much is going into, how much of Forex that we're expending for this JAPA fever, as we call it. If you see the Forex, the number of Nigerians enrolling in schools in the UK, in America, you see that it's real. It's not something that it is real. The numbers are speaking.
Yeah, the numbers are speaking because are based on facts and statistics. Nigerians spent about $23 billion in 10 years. That's $2.3 billion annually in paying school fees in foreign universities across the world.
Just imagine bringing that to Nigeria. ASU strike would have
been tackled. And again, I think one thing that we need to look on close is about, I'm trying to look at the instances where people are going and bringing in new forms of development into the country. Let's look at the Great Chinese Exodus, where a lot of people left China and they went to other countries of the world, and eventually they came back and make Chinese a better place. I think one of the things we intend to look at in this platform is that let's encourage government to try and do more, because if, like China, they had to create a very favorable environment for businesses to grow and allowed more citizens to come out. They created more opportunities for people in the country and people were able to go. So one of the things we're looking at on the platform of Next Nigerian President is, okay, so if people are Japan, what will bring them back? So what should we expect from the next president? What can we put in place so that people will stop Japan? For instance, now the National Association of Resident Doctors, the president has come out to say 6 out of every 10 doctors is planning to leave the country. And this is a country where we have a ratio of 1 doctor to 5,000 patients, and this keeps growing by our population statistics. So I think it's necessary for us to look for a way to retain our doctors, provide more opportunities for people. But let me push it to you. What do you think the next Nigerian president needs to put in place for us to reduce the amount of young people leaving this country, for us to reduce the amount of brain drain happening in the country?
What do I think the next Nigerian president needs to do? Okay, first of all, on a lighter note, I saw a tweet a while back where somebody said if you're an IT person or you're a tech person and you walk into any bank, if you give you employment immediately. So even aside the brain drain in the medical sector, we're seeing brain drain in the tech sector. We're seeing a lot of brain drain in the creative sector. And people are moving for greener pastures. So all these things are taking away resources, human resources from Nigeria. It's taking away our even financial resources because it costs a lot of money to even process your complete travel. So yeah, that is one thing. Now, what does the next Nigerian president have to do to ensure people don't japa? I think first of all, to japa is not a bad thing. Nigerians in diaspora contribute about 22 to 25 billion yearly. So that is not entirely a bad thing. So what are we trying to encourage? We want the next Nigerian president to make people want to come back, make people want to invest in Nigeria, because aside even Nigerians that are Japan, as we say, there are a lot of things that can be put in place that will attract like foreign direct investment into Nigeria. So not only not only would we be bringing back Nigerians, we'll be attracting the world as well. So I know when you hear a lot of things when we say Africa to the world, is especially it's a very common term with in the creative sector when Africa to the world. Yeah, that is very great. But what we need to do is we need to bring the world to Nigeria. That's what will translate to growth to us. There are very few people that can go there. Do you understand? And bring a spotlight on Nigeria. Kudos to the guys doing a great job there. But I'm just saying there's so much that they can do. But when we bring the world to Nigeria, it's better. And it's one thing to bring the world to Nigeria, it's one thing to sustain the world's eyes on Nigeria. How do you sustain the world's eyes on Nigeria? Policy. When you make favorable policies, you see what is happening with the airlines when people are doing business in Nigeria, employing Nigeria, but they cannot access forex. This is what we also hear with our people that are into import and export. Forex is hard to attain. I know of a tech company that is trying to purchase their POSs. They have the licenses, they have everything, but the instability in the dollar has stalled this purchase for over a month. Do you understand? So when you see things like this, you see how policy and the state of the nation affects everything. So I even think the whole JAPA fever is also I think it's directly proportional to the level of poor governance that we're experiencing. Because I know that a lot of things people are trying to do outside Nigeria. If we had good schools, 90% of people that are going for school might not go. Do you understand? If when you are done with school, you can get good employment, do you understand? A lot of people will stay, and those people that stay will grow, will build business or join businesses that will grow our economy and make things easier. So that's what I think. I don't know. I will throw the question back to you. What do you think?
I think one of the things that the next government needs to come and do squarely is that we need to tackle the issue of insecurity. I think one of the major things that we're facing today is about the issue of insecurity. Do you understand? In every part of this country today, there's one form of insecurity that's battling them. Do you understand? And the Northeast, we're seeing the issue of Boko Haram and ISWAP, North Central banditry around the Niger, South, the militants. The Southwest is also facing some issues of banditry. Do you understand? Southeast, do you understand? Every day we're waking up situations like this, though we could see a little bit of mileage from the security forces recently, and there's a lot of clampdown on
with the arrest of the bandits negotiator and clampdown on his associates. That was.
Yeah, so I think that's a bright step to go. And again,
and
government
boost the morale as well.
And boost the morale. I think another thing is that we need to build a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. Do you understand? If we're able to create that, then we'll be able to see a lot more development in the state of affairs of the country. And again, another thing is that government need to put more emphasis in allowing industries grow. We need to spotlight industries that will because guy, if you walk around the streets of Abuja, Kano, Ilori, and other cities where you go, you see a lot of young people who are willing and able to work, but they don't have such opportunity to do you understand? So they don't know what to do. Like you're still relying on your parents, you that can work. You can work, you can. So government.
Personally, I've come across amazing people I just you know that these people can.
They have the energy. They want to do something.
They can think,
but there's no opportunity. There's no opportunity. So such people eventually, do you understand? After a long time, frustration might lead them into what they say an idle man is a devil's workshop. So I think that's one thing government needs to do. Let's engage more young people in productive ventures. Let's make sure that people are happy eventually.
But so now I want to do this. Is it a job of only the government?
Yeah, but the primary function of government is to provide security.
No, I understand. No, I'm even taking the conversation, brother. I'm saying in the sense that what the government should do to make people stay in Nigeria or make people that have gone come back. So I'm saying that is that an effort of only the government? Because so you see what happened in Dubai recently. Dubai government has imposed more stringent conditions on Nigerians to get visa. So that I will say very honestly that was not entirely the fault of the Nigerian government. But I feel like the Nigerian government could have handled it better. But that was not exactly a fault of them. It was a fault of individuals and they used their actions. So I think I know that the primary responsibility of every government is to ensure these things are in place. But I'm also saying that as Nigerians, we have a role to play. And even talking about a role to play, that takes us to a whole new conversation about the role we have to play in also determining who the next Nigerian president is.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Zynga Wallet. Zynga Wallet is an alternative payment system that is made to ease transaction. We urge you all to download it on Google and Apple Play Store.
Thank you, Zinga, for the daily 2K. So back to our conversation on JAPA. I was just trying to think of the dimension of even the emotional aspect, because I think on Twitter as well, like I'm referencing Twitter a lot. You guys should run my check. But I was like, on Twitter as well, I saw somebody said, so a family of 4 and the 4 people have gone to different continents. And their parents are in their late 60s. They might not see their parents up to 3 times for their parents die. You get all of that. And I just thought about, like, that's actually real talk, because you're in America, your brother is in London, this one is in this place. So before you guys even come together again, you plan it. So I was just thinking about it, that actually, like, is tearing apart families. It's even causing serious breakfast.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, people are in relationships. One partner is going, one is here. All that,
So
all
there's
that.
a reality check.
Yes,
would this work? Would this not work?
I know.
And the funniest is that the other partner is going there with the condition of I'm not coming back. And the other partner doesn't have anything.
It's not sure that I'm going to be there.
Do you understand? So everybody
is saying it like this experience life.
So like everybody
can talk to us.
So everybody's sitting on the pedestal. I think that exists, because the emotional part is a lot for, like, parents, as you rightly say. It's like a lot of parents will have to go through a lot of pain.
Yeah, they live a lot of years without seeing their children.
Like, do you understand? Like, older parents always want to have their grandchildren around. But when the grandchildren,
so you see your grandchild is up to 5 years, you've never seen him before.
And then when they are seeing him, he's not even speaking.
He doesn't even know you.
He doesn't like, who is this? Do you understand?
It's wild.
So I think that's one thing. I think it's possible. Let's look at the emotional angle. I think it's necessary for us to understand that no matter how much you go in for, like, social and economic benefits in other part of the country, but your mindset is always in Nigeria. People who are in abroad,
I don't
people
know.
who are in abroad, mostly, if you call them, they could talk to you for 7 hours. They are always on the phone with you. How Nigeria? Do you understand? They always want to talk to you in Nigeria. Like, to be honest, like, people that have got followed
their hearts are still here.
Their hearts is always there.
Do
you understand? Like,
that's what you have to do eventually.
Do you understand? Like, most times when they know news about Nigeria more than you. Like, they follow the updates. They are always the first to send you breaking news.
So that's why I think that Nigerians in diaspora. Sorry, I'm just diverting. It just takes us on a whole new conversation of Nigerians in diaspora. We've said earlier that Nigerians in diaspora contribute about $22 to $25 billion to Nigeria every year. So those are stakeholders in Nigeria. How many sectors actually pull that amount of money? So that's actually a sector of the economy. So for me, I think one of the issues of this election should be diaspora voting, because for me, if it is a company, let's say limited liability company, and a certain number of people are bringing in this amount of you get what it means? Like, they should have a say. So I'm just putting this out there, that to young people watching this, everybody watching this, actually, I think issues around your camp. I am listening to your preferred candidates or whatever. I think those are key issues that you should also look at. That okay, which candidate is actually securing my interest? This is what I like. This is what this will favor me. This will favor my demographic. This is what is good for Nigeria. Who is saying this and who is saying that? That's when you hear issue-based campaign. So I think that is what it means, really. That okay, like, let's talk about the real issues. Let's not talk about this guy is short. This guy's. Do you understand? Let's talk about the real issues. That okay, what do you have for Nigerians in diaspora? What do you have for young people? What do you have for old people? What do you have for pensioners? What do you have for children? Do you understand? What is your plan for education? We are seeing the realities of Nigeria, and we cannot afford to gamble at the next election. So one of our core objectives of this show is to spotlight issues around, like, what Nigerians are facing, and also enlighten Nigerians. So when they're making choices in this election, they make guided choices.
So, and I think it's also necessary for us to advise Nigerians and diaspora that please, you guys should be in the best of qualities, and because anything you do, you guys are the ambassadors
of Nigeria.
You guys are ambassadors of the country, so you must make sure that you live your life in ways in which you reflect the understanding Nigerianness in you, and you should also make sure that you respect people in the society at which you're going in. You don't expect to go to another man's country and going to have cult fights. As in, it doesn't make any sense. Like a ban on us from Dubai, I don't know. As much as a lot of people will lament over it, but the atrocities are getting so much out of hand. Do you understand? You can't go to another man's country and be duping the citizens.
Like you're not. What your action is not you alone. Your action reflects on 200 million people. You should always have that in your mind that, so you have to, as a Nigerian outside Nigeria, you're an ambassador to 200 million people. So over 200 million people. So what you do is directly or indirectly speaking about other people. So just be thoughtful.
So basically, we know. Okay, so after saying all of this, I think we know that there are 4 major candidates running the ballot.
Are there still 4 candidates realistically?
Realistically, I swear. I know. Let's still give it to the red carpet.
No. The truth is politics. You can never like sit. It's over.
And we're still in September. Not in September.
No. I didn't make reference to anybody. I just said that are they still 4? I didn't really say.
They what you mean?
It could be anybody.
So I think for this issue, I think we should look at between the likes of Bola Tinubu, who transformed Lagos to what it is today, and Atiku,
transformed Lagos. That's a heavy statement.
And Atiku, who is known as the president of restructuring, who is planning to restructure the country. I like the whole idea about restructuring because I think we need to look at the bottom-up approach of governance. I think we need to empower states and local governments. So if that's what his restructure is saying, I think, yes, Atiku is also saying something.
Yes, then, I made a comment on Tinubu, so I want to make a comment on everybody. Okay. So for Atiku, one of his main agendas is the unifier, and we can see what's going on in his party. Do you understand? So as they say, charity begins at home. So let's see how that goes.
So and then Peter will be the obedient man. So I don't know. Like for me, to be honest, I think he's someone who has a lot of ideas about industrialization. I think this is time that Nigeria looks into industries. So are you going to pass another?
Yeah, no, I'll pass a comment on him. I just think that you know how the Nigerian conversation always goes about how does he have the structure, his time, the timing. And all of that, is it realistic? Do you understand? So I'm just raising conversations, popular conversations that are going around on all these people. But I know that he has been able to build a good movement.
And let's talk about Kwankwaso Amana. So Kwankwaso is, to be honest, Kwankwaso is somebody who has done quite a number of things in his state as Kano. And he's held different positions. He's been in the Ministry of Defense. He's been known as someone who has done a lot for education in Kano State. Someone who put the road infrastructure, all those things in place. But what do you think about him? Do you think
I think for Kwankwaso as well, he's known to have road runners. He's doing the physical groundwork and all of that. A lot of people. Him too, he has one of the people that have been able to build a good movement. But you know that in the Nigerian constitution, you have to win 25%, about 25 or 24 states.
So is it possible?
So it's possible. As I said, it's possible. You can never know. So playing, I don't know. I think he's perceived more as a regional person. So to win the election, he has to extend the handshake across the Niger, as they always say. That's why when the conversation about Kwankwaso and Peter Obi was going on, it was exciting a lot of Nigerians because
so something else realistic.
There's some possibilities in it, but it didn't work out. But let's stay connected and we'll see who the next Nigerian president will be.
So we're calling on the next Nigerian president, whoever comes, I should please as much as possible control the rate of JAPA. Some of us are losing our girlfriends, some of us are losing.
That's real talk, man. You guys pay attention.
Then Bob are losing their side chicks and someone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yes, it's true. Bob is in a serious relationship. Let me not cause problems.
Please cut my relationship out of this.
So it's time for us to know that yes, it's time for us to reduce the amount of brain drain that leaves this country. We need every hand on deck for us to transform Nigeria. But in a society where there's no opportunity for young people, then definitely we'll see such as a lot of that happening. So we're calling on the next person who's coming to hold the mantle of leadership to make sure that he does that with utmost respect and love for the country, to unify the country, make sure that at least certain problems are solved. Like we cannot have a president who's going to come and solve everything. But I think some of the major things must be looked at and we have to solve them as soon as possible. Issues of electricity should not still be happening in this 21st century, and issues of water, issues of light, issues of insecurity. Like small things should not be bothering us now. We should stop creating. Do you understand? We're creating cars that are not moving. We just create carton cars. We're celebrating it. We need to be realistic now. We need to make sure that things are done well.
Thank you very much, guys. This was a very interesting conversation. For me, I think we should all stay safe, be cautious, and have a good day.
And thank you so much for cutting me short so many times.
I know, my guy.